Travis Taylor of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch is setting the record straight. Okay, get in here. This is Cosmic Road, where I discuss UFOs and the paranormal. Today, I've got an assist by Baxter, so we'll see how that goes. Hey, Bax, how's it going? Anyway, so Dr. Travis Taylor just gave an interview. Oh, before I get too far into it, please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and as I'm going through it, please comment below and let me know what you think about all this. So Travis Taylor is giving an interview, and he shares some stuff that's really interesting, particularly about how he got the job as the lead scientist for the U.A.P. task force. That's been very controversial. People are saying, oh, he's the ancient aliens guy, getting a job with the government. They're just hiring celebrities or whatever. And other people are worried that his role with the U.A.P. task force would influence the direction of the Secret of Skinwalker Ranch and their investigations into the ranch. So, I will link to the full interview below, but let me just read some of his comments. He says, the first thing they come out and say is, it turns out now that the chief scientist of the U.A.P. task force was that guy from Ancient Aliens. Well, but they don't bother to mention that Ancient Aliens wasn't my resume that I gave to the Defense Department to get into that. I was actually invited to be the chief scientist of the effort. Explaining how his appointment first came about, he told the podcast, when I first go out to Utah to film the first season of Skinwalker Ranch in 2019, in the middle of the summer, I was measuring some signals that I was worried might be bad guys doing some stuff, some bad stuff, bad guys doing some bad stuff. So I went to the Pentagon and briefed some folks that, hey, we need to look at this because it might not be aliens, it might be our near peers spying on us. And it's interesting that he already had connections with the Pentagon, and he could just go and brief them. But he had been working with the government for a long time. When he said that, a guy came in. He says, I'm quoting him, I didn't know him at the time. He asked everybody else to leave the room, closed the doors, and had a copy of my book, Alien Invasion, in his hand. And he said, Dr. Taylor, I'm Jay Stratton. I'm the director of the U.A.P. task force, and this is very interesting what you're saying and what we've been looking at your book, and it looks like you kind of understand the approach we need to take. So I assume that means, identifying what is our near peers and what is actually alien. Would you come join the U.A.P. task force? And it was based on my resume as 30-something years with the Defense Department, having the PhDs, master's degrees, and actually studying the topic seriously. Had nothing to do with Ancient Aliens or anything, and it was before Skinwalker had ever come out. Baxter thought that was very interesting. Anyway, so I just wanted to bring this to you. There has been some controversy around Dr. Travis Taylor's role with the U.A.P. task force, and it is unclear if that role is ongoing. I don't get the impression it is, but we don't really have any information about that. He didn't talk about that in the interview. If you have some information about it, please share in the comments below. I'd be very interested to hear it. Is he working with AIM-Song? Is he still on board with the U.F.O. program in the Pentagon? I would be very curious to find out. That would give me a little more faith in it, although honestly, not really, because they ignored him. At the congressional hearing where the two AIM-Song guys were testifying before Congress, they called the pyramid video. They said those were drones. Well, Travis Taylor says that didn't come from him. He's the lead scientist investigating that incident. for the task force, and he never said they were drones. So he has no idea where they're getting that. That is obviously a false narrative that they are putting forward. They are lying to Congress and to the American people. So, and that was with him being the lead scientist. So, so I don't know if that's coming from them or if they are under orders to mislead the American people and to downplay the phenomenon. 50-50 either way. I don't know. Are they actually working with, the Area 51 guys? Is the breakaway group controlling them? I would not be surprised if that were the case. I have always wondered how the new UFO program would get along with the breakaway group. Would the breakaway group try to seize control or sabotage them in some ways, try to misdirect them? Seems far more likely that they would just try to take control and to subvert the program, and maybe use their resources, its resources, for their own ends somehow. Typically, I would think that going by all the Men in Black stuff, that would just be downplaying the phenomenon and suppressing public awareness of it, so that the breakaway group, the Area 51 guys, can continue doing whatever the hell they're doing with the beings and with this reverse engineered technology. Tomorrow it looks like we're getting a bonus episode of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. I will definitely be covering that. It looks like, last week I covered the finale, which was the final episode of the season, and it was clearly designed to be the final episode with a big recap at the end and everything. So I think this is going to be more of a discussion among the group. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe something like the Tiger King, the bonus episode at the end of the Tiger King, where everybody's just sitting around and talking on Zoom about the various developments since the show ended. So I'm wondering if it's going to be something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I'm delighted that we are getting a bonus episode. So that should be really cool, and I will definitely be covering that probably on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. That would be awesome. Comment below in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all of this, about what Dr. Travis Taylor has to say about his role with the task force and about he got the job. And by all means, go and watch the interview that these quotes were taken from. It's a really good interview, and there's some other interesting stuff in there, including that Bob Bigelow, the NIDS team, how they were actually, invited to come back to the ranch, and they all said no. They didn't want to come back to the ranch. They said, you couldn't pay me enough money to come back to the ranch. So I thought that was really interesting. I wonder what other experiences they had there that we don't know about. They did have some juicy experiences that we do know about, including a weird dark creature crawling out of a portal, and Eric Davis being briefly possessed by something and saying something ominous. I forget what it was, some stereotypical villainous stuff like, leave this place or you're not wanted. I forget exactly what it was. But it was spooky, and it was also very hammy, whatever, did that, whatever briefly possessed him to make him say that. I don't know if it has a sense of humor and that it was being deliberately cheesy, or if it was trying to mimic something it had seen in a movie. I forget the exact story. If you do remember the exact story, because I'm just, talking off the cuff here. But yeah, if you do remember that exact story, please let me know in the comments below and refresh my memory. But there's a lot of juicy, weird things that happened to the NIDS team and with the NIDS team. And, honestly, if I had been possessed by some entity saying spooky stuff, through me or talking mind to mind to me, I probably wouldn't want to go back to the ranch either. So anyway, that's me. Drop a comment below. Hit the subscribe button. Baxter just gave a big sigh. He wants you to hit the subscribe button, and if you do, the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. And until next time, Cosmic Road out.